So I managed to get myself a custom license plate for this thing. Yeah, normally I'm not really a fan of custom plates, but it was only an extra €8, so I thought, why not? What do you think? Personally, I think it's quite fitting to the car. Yeah, I think it fits quite well. The H on the end is the classic car or old-timer identification, so you have to have that. The B is for Berlin, where I am now, so you have to have that as well. But then yeah, for €8 I could pick what came afterwards. So yeah, I mean, officially BW is my partner's initials, and obviously the 240 part should be quite obvious. But yeah, I thought, yeah, her name's Lilibet, so Lilibet the BBW. Yeah, I thought it was quite good. So anyway, the point of the video. So you may have seen in the last episode or whatever video, whatever, I swapped the rear axle from this car into this car. And I also showed you the torque rods that were split. All the bushes on all of them were split. So I decided to go down the polybush route for those. And yeah, some of you commented that you are sort of planning to, or in the process of, fitting polybushes to your cars, to your 240s. So here's how I did mine. Yeah, it's definitely not a how-to. I wouldn't really advise doing it this way. It's just the way I did it. But yeah, anyway, here's how that went. So yeah, apologies if I sound a little bit nasally and weird, a bit.
Oh yeah, hi guys.
I've got cat allergies at the minute, and yeah, it's like just making me all bunged up and weird. Not cool. So yeah, I mean, some of you guys will have seen me do this before, but these torque rods are nice and easy. It's better to take one off each time. Just do one first, instead of take them both off at the same time, and then the axle can rock backwards and forwards, and it can make things a bit trickier. If you leave one in, it keeps things stable, and then yeah, just replace one at a time. These were undone recently, so quite easy to undo now. Yeah, well, the camera's shaking around like a Parkinson's patient, so I better just crack on with it. But you get the idea anyway. I think they were put in by someone who kind of knew what they were doing, as opposed to these other ones, wherever they are, where I think maybe a monkey had a go at it. I think, you know, I don't know, I think an orangutan with a hammer probably had a go with these ones, but you can see as well how the bush hasn't been put in properly, because this is the correct way. In line with the arm, you have the rubber, and then you have the hollowed parts the other side, because basically the arm moves backwards and forwards like this, so you want the support here, front and back. You can see how these arms, not only they look good and they've been pressed in properly, but also correctly, whereas on these arms they're off at an angle, so it's not going to be as effective if it's moving backwards and forwards and it's actually pushing and pulling on the hollowed parts. So, you know, obviously premature failure and just bad handling, and obviously the knock-on effect of it. So so there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna go with these ones and get these purple bad boys in. And yeah, don't buy cheap $3 saws either, because otherwise it takes you about 150 hours to do a simple job like this. So with this one, I actually took a bit more time to cut through. You can see the cut there, hopefully. To cut through it properly, obviously making sure not to go into the outer part of the actual arm itself, instead of getting impatient and bored and then not cutting through it fully and trying to prise it on the edges with the screwdriver to pop it out. Yeah, and then just making like a general mess of things, like I did on this side, which obviously I need to clean up and make smooth. Yeah, to cut through it properly, literally then it's a case of, once you've done that, you still get the screwdriver in the corner. Looks like a gearbox sump plug, doesn't it? No, but obviously you still get the screwdriver in and prise it, give it a tap. But that's really all you need to do. You don't need to risk any damage to the arm itself, because yeah, once it's sawn through, you give it a couple of taps, that gap's going to close, and the diameter of this inner shell is going to shrink. And then once you've done that, it's easy out. So no damage at all on this one. On the other side, obviously we've got a few chunks missing. I need to sand that smooth, so obviously it doesn't cause any issues with the new bush. It's just on that side, the rest of it's fine. But either way, I need to clean this up, make it smooth. I don't want to damage the bush, or have any issues there. But obviously there will be some indentations. Yeah, we'll just call those grease channels and learn from our mistakes. Okay, so let's give it a go. It's mostly, inside the arm's mostly clean now. It's not perfect, but it's smooth. Just so this bush, because it will move in, it's free to move inside here. So obviously you don't want it getting damaged and failing sort of too early, prematurely. So yeah, a load of grease. You need it to be greased as well, otherwise it squeaks. Need more than that, don't I? I like to call this the poor man's press method. Obviously, not that you should do it, but just to let you know, not that it really matters to you, but I've cleaned the tyre, very important. You don't want getting in your bush. Clean the floor, well, a bit anyway. There. Push them into place. So there we go. So yeah, I think the end justifies the means on that one. The bushes are in, she's riding great. Can highly recommend poly bushes for the torque rods. Car feels much better, much tighter, much better on and off the power, you know, much more together. Yeah, highly recommended. I don't think poly bushes are meant to be as good for the trailing arms. I think they're too firm and you need rubber in there, so I've heard. But for the torque rods, definitely a winner. I might have to totally start again with this, take those arms off and undo all this, because as LX3 Restos reminded me after I'd already done the work, in Germany it's strict on modifications, and unless you have certain paperwork to go with the bushes, the poly bushes, which I don't have with these ones, it's not accepted for the inspection. So I might have to just undo it all again and just start from scratch. So